than I believe I was. To my children, I'm nobody. That night, they're going to find out their father's very special.
Open workout today, so tomorrow I have a press conference. Today open workout. We just finished a great sparring, last sparring of season, and now just gonna show for the crowd a little bit of our work.
In a newly released Netflix Uncut special, viewers are treated to an inside look at Mike Tyson's intense final sparring session before his upcoming bout with Jake Paul. The documentary, crafted with Tyson's legendary career in mind, captures the raw energy and intensity of Tyson's training camp as he prepares for one of the most talked-about matches of the year.
What will this win mean to you on a Friday out here in Texas if you take it home?
All I can say is thank you, God.
At 58, Tyson's remarkable power and agility are still on full display. The Netflix team captures his rapid combinations and precise footwork, reminding fans of his younger days when he dominated the heavyweight division. Tyson's sparring partners, many of them younger, up-and-coming fighters, struggle to keep up with his pace. Some clips show his sparring partners visibly exhausted, barely able to hold their own against Tyson's relentless offense, while others take hard hits that seem to shake them to their core.
Brother assassinated. Okay.
Good. Round one. Boom. Feel. Cut the ring. Exactly. Cut the ring. Exactly, Mike. Beautiful. Yes, just like that, Mike Tyson. Excellent, Mike. Excellent, Mike.
Even his trainers acknowledge the ferocity Tyson brings to the ring, as his coach is heard saying, "I've never seen someone hit that hard at this age. He's defying what's possible." Tyson's punches hit like thunder, each one seeming more powerful than the last, hinting at what could be a dangerous showdown for Jake Paul.
Well, you break him. Unpredictable. Exactly, Mike. Beautiful roll, Mike. Excellent. Excellent. Beautiful game.
Throughout the session, Tyson's trainer is seen working on very specific fight strategies, focusing on calculated body shots and targeted head movement designed to expose any weaknesses in Jake Paul's defense. Tyson practices combinations aimed at dismantling an opponent's guard, breaking down Jake's defense with relentless pressure. The footage also reveals Tyson focusing on conserving energy and maximizing his endurance, a crucial factor for someone in his 50s facing a much younger opponent. Rafael Cordeiro, Tyson's trainer, explains the strategy. "We're not looking for the quick knockout here. Mike wants to test Paul, drag him into the later rounds, and make him earn it. This isn't a fight you walk into and think it'll be over in seconds. We're ready for war." In an introspective segment, Tyson opens up about his mental preparation for the fight. Sitting down with the Netflix crew, he talks about the importance of staying grounded and sharp. Tyson shares, "It's about proving something to myself. This isn't about age or proving people wrong. It's about facing my own limits, seeing what I still have left. The ring demands honesty. It's just you, your opponent, and the truth. Nothing else matters." This moment of vulnerability resonates with Tyson's fans, offering a window into the mind of a fighter who's dedicated his life to the sport and is now returning for another challenge on his own terms. Tyson also touches on his respect for the sport and his belief that age doesn't define a fighter's spirit or capabilities. Boxing Kingdom tweeted on X saying, "Mike Tyson finished his last sparring session earlier today." The Netflix Uncut special wraps up with Tyson's trainers and close friends reflecting on his journey back to the ring. His coach shares, "I don't know if we'll ever see someone like Mike again, someone who's been through what he's been through and still wants to go out there and fight. He's not doing this for fame or money, he's doing it because it's who he is." For fans and boxing enthusiasts alike, this final sparring session provides a powerful look at Tyson's commitment, resilience, and readiness. Viewers are left wondering if Jake Paul truly understands the challenge he's taken on and if he's prepared for the level of intensity Tyson is set to bring. On the other hand, Teddy Atlas recently shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, leaving many shocked by his bold prediction that Paul could actually have a chance at defeating the legendary boxer. Renowned for his sharp analysis and profound knowledge of the sport, Atlas explained why he thinks Jake Paul might just pull off a surprising victory over one of the most iconic heavyweights in boxing history.
I'm actually a fan of Jake Paul. I like him because he has not disrespected my sport. I've been in it 50 years. He didn't disrespect. He went, He busted his backside.
Atlas started by emphasizing the most apparent factor, age. At 58, Mike Tyson is far removed from his peak, and despite his impressive physical shape in recent years, Atlas highlighted that the body inevitably slows with time. He argued that Jake Paul, at nearly 30 years Tyson's junior, holds the upper hand in endurance, recovery, and maintaining a faster pace. Additionally, Atlas praised Jake Paul for his surprisingly strategic approach, which often goes overlooked. He emphasized Paul's measured patience in past bouts, pointing out how the rising boxer has demonstrated caution and intelligence in selecting his punches, an invaluable trait when facing a formidable force like Tyson.
So that question is for him. Does he need, at this point in his life, he's come back, he's made money, he's you know, all those things. People like him, people even love him, all of that. He's iconic now.
Atlas highlighted Jake Paul's physical advantages, particularly his height and reach, which could give him the ability to dictate the distance throughout the fight. Standing at 6'1", Paul holds a slight height edge over Tyson, which could help him maintain space and prevent Tyson from closing in to land his powerful body shots and uppercuts. Atlas noted that Tyson's success depends on his ability to shorten the distance, and if Jake is able to keep him at range with his jab, it might frustrate Tyson and open the door for Paul to exploit that frustration. Atlas has taken note of Paul's commitment to training alongside seasoned boxing veterans. He commended Paul for regularly collaborating with top-tier coaches and sparring partners, which has played a key role in building his strong defensive skills. Additionally, Atlas highlighted that Paul's mental game could prove to be a crucial asset. Despite some criticism, he emphasized that Paul's distinctive confidence is a valuable tool in the ring.
Does he need it? And it's not for Teddy Atlas to answer. Does he need it? And not does he need it for his bankroll. Does he need it for something else?
Furthermore, Atlas proposed that Tyson's aggressive fighting approach could unexpectedly benefit Jake, provided Paul maintains his composure. He pointed out that Tyson's eagerness to secure early knockouts, coupled with his need to manage his stamina, could create opportunities for Paul as the fight advances. Atlas speculated that if Paul can withstand the early barrage and adhere to his defensive plan, Tyson's unyielding aggression might eventually turn to his disadvantage. Atlas worked with Tyson during his teenage years, under the guidance of Cus D'Amato, long before Tyson became a heavyweight champion. Looking back at Tyson's footage, he noted that seeing glimpses of Tyson's peak performance didn't surprise him. Even in its later years when it's out to pasture, a racehorse is still probably going to show little spurts of a gallop that an ordinary horse would not be able to show, Atlas said. He added, but it should not be misconstrued into thinking that necessarily Tyson can do that with a fighter, where you don't know what's coming and when it's coming, in the way that you did when you were in your 20s. Recalling the end of Tyson's career, which included 3 losses in his last 4 fights, Atlas said, I don't know what his fortitude level is at this point. He also said Tyson's once destructive left hook would not be enough to win the fight.
Jake Paul, he's on the way to like building a legitimate boxing career. He's having real fights.
Part of it is what it's been from the beginning, you know, trying to be the best fighter he can be and see where that takes him. At the same time, building a promotional company, maybe changing the sport a little bit in his mind too.
Yeah, I think at the core, he's a good person, and I wouldn't be surprised if part of his motivation for putting on this fight is knowing it will get eyeballs and being able to put on some of the other fighters.
Simultaneously, previous statements from the 58-year-old Tyson have resurfaced, where he resolutely stated he would never face the younger competitor. With the stark age difference between them, this potential clash remains one of the most hotly debated bouts in sports history. Tyson never envisioned himself facing off against Paul in the ring. Recent remarks from the boxing legend shed light on this shift in perspective. During an appearance on the Full Send podcast almost 2 years ago, Iron Mike made it clear that a fight was completely out of the question. Tyson said, "My family loves Jake Paul. I would never fight him. Everyone in my family loves this little white mother. Let him have his reign. Let him have his time. I don't want to fight him, man. I fight real fighters. I fight fighters that hurt big, strong, scary men. They're the ones that I fight." The precise figure Tyson will earn for battling Paul, who is 31 years his junior, has yet to be revealed. However, in March, Marca speculated that Tyson could rake in $20 million for his return to the ring. Eager to defy the effects of time, Tyson has been intensely training this winter. Meanwhile, Paul's recent win over Mike Perry has set the stage for an electrifying clash with Tyson. Mike Tyson's Tyson's resurgence in the boxing world shows no signs of slowing down, leaving both fans and critics in awe of his relentless progress. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is eagerly eyeing a showdown with the legend, envisioning a roaring crowd and savoring the prospect of securing a career-defining victory. Two-time world champion Timothy Bradley is confident that Tyson has a clear upper hand against Paul. He argues that Tyson's raw power in the early rounds will likely prove too much for the YouTuber, setting the stage for a swift knockout. Bradley said, "I think Tyson is going to knock him out fast. At first I didn't think so, but when I saw the rules there was no doubt in my mind. By knockout. I'm sure it will be by knockout. It's only 2 minutes instead of 3. There is no doubt in my mind." The outcome of the match will be shaped by the shortened format, which is tailored to account for the age and conditioning differences. While Tyson may no longer have the endurance of his prime, his knockout power remains as formidable as ever. One clean shot could send Paul crashing to the canvas. Despite the years, Tyson's hand speed appears to be just as sharp as it was in his heyday, based on the training footage he's shared online. Bradley further added, "Think about it. He's going to come out like a whirlwind, like he always has. He's going to corner him. He's going to close him off with his body, and he's going to take him out. He's got everything in his favor to knock Paul out of the game at the drop of a hat. You know, that power is the last thing to go, and Tyson has everything in his favor in 2 minutes." On the other hand, boxing icon Butterbean has called the much-hyped showdown between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul a scam, questioning whether the match will even happen. The fight is rumored to feature a condensed format, designed to account for the fighters' differing ages and fitness levels. Eric Esch, better known as Butterbean, remains skeptical that Tyson and Paul will ever face off in the ring, even with the fight now rescheduled for November 15th. He said, "Him and Tyson are never gonna fight. That has been a scam from the very beginning just to boost Jake's name, and it has. This guy, everybody's talking about him, but he's never gonna fight Tyson." He added, "They were never planning on fighting each other because a promoter would never let him fight anyone else in between a fight," referring to Paul's matchup with Mike Perry, which filled the date vacated by Tyson. Butterbean added, "Never, not that big of a fight, so it's been a scam from the beginning." Following Paul's win against former UFC fighter Perry, Tyson wasted no time asserting his determination to defeat the younger boxer. Almost instantly after the fight, he turned to social media, sending a bold and resolute message to Paul that underscored his unshakable resolve. He wrote on X, "118 days, 16 weeks and 6 days, 17 weekends, 2,832 hours, 169,920 minutes, 10,195,200 seconds. The clock starts now." Before Paul claimed victory over Perry, Tyson shared a video of himself silently observing Paul on TV.
Rounds even. In 10 professional fights, his record stands at 9 victories, 1 defeat, 6 wins coming by way of knockout.
Meanwhile, Michael Chandler, a UFC standout, is cheering for Mike Tyson to beat Jake Paul. Chandler anticipates an exciting show despite the bout's shortcomings. Chandler said, "Jake Paul fought Mike Perry, who he outweighed by 20 pounds or so and had 4 inches of height on. And now it's Mike Tyson, who is 30 years older. Mike Tyson's about 60 and Jake's about 30. Jake Paul has been advised to rethink his ambitions of challenging UFC title holder Alex Pereira. Following his thrilling 6th-round knockout of Mike Perry last month, the YouTuber-turned-boxer has turned his attention to the current light heavyweight champion. Even with a highly anticipated bout against boxing icon Mike Tyson looming this November in Texas, Paul's focus remains firmly on Pereira. The Brazilian, who has won belts in 2 weight classes, has made a name for himself as one of the UFC's most formidable opponents. But Paul insisted he could beat him in a boxing ring when he said, "Alex Pereira, you said you want to box and I'm the king of this, so come over, we can make it happen. I want you, Alex Pereira. I just beat a BKFC champion. I've beat multiple UFC champions and he said he wants to box, so Alex Pereira, after Mike Tyson, let's make it happen." At the press conference after his win over Perry, Paul expanded on his wish to fight Pereira when he added, "I want everybody. I love this sport," and he's tweeted about wanting to go into boxing. "We got him on FaceTime in the ring, and I said, 'Yo, can you get out of your contract? If he can get out of his contract, then let's run it.' When I asked him, he paused and looked at his manager." In a turn of events that defies all odds, Mike Tyson is now the favored contender to defeat Jake Paul in their highly anticipated match, an encounter that promises to leave a significant mark on heavyweight boxing history. At 58, the legendary Tyson is gearing up for a stunning return to the ring on November 15th, where he will face 26-year-old YouTube sensation Paul in an official bout that has taken many by surprise. If Tyson's comeback unfolds as planned, he will be poised to surpass Roy Jones Jr. RECU's record for the longest heavyweight career, an extraordinary span that began in 1985 and extends into 2024.
I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, you have to fight like his life is depending on it, because it will be.
I truly believe that there's a lot of people who, see me as an arrogant ass, which I can be sometimes, but I'm just having fun and entertaining the world. And I do think that the older generation wants people to see Mike knock me out, but at the end of the day, I also have the kids, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, the college students rooting for me and want to see me and Mike.
Teddy Atlas, the previous trainer of the undefeated champion, believes that this might be enough to win, despite the fighter's advanced age and declining abilities. He said, "You better be aware, knowing Tyson the way I do, power doesn't disappear when you're old. He's still got speed, combinations. He's still got that style that he was taught to make you miss and create openings for that power." Atlas emphasized that Mike Tyson's innate sharpness and precision remain unmatched, enabling him to swiftly anticipate, outmaneuver, and exploit openings for a devastating knockout. He firmly dismissed any insinuations of foul play or covert agreements, reinforcing Tyson's genuine menace to Paul. Despite the perilous odds, Atlas commended Paul's courage for stepping into the ring against such a formidable opponent. He further added, "Tyson's gonna come out there, and if you do have an agreement with him, good luck. Because I know Tyson. When that bell rings, he might have a short memory about any agreement other than the agreement to put hands on your chin." Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are set to clash in the ring this November for an 8-round showdown, each round spanning 2 minutes, as confirmed by official sources. Despite a 3-decade age difference, Paul continues to maintain peak physical condition, refining his boxing skills in bouts against former MMA fighters. Meanwhile, Tyson, a legendary figure who once reigned supreme in the boxing world, is preparing for his highly anticipated return to the sport after nearly 2 decades in retirement. There is speculation within the boxing community that the former undisputed champion might rediscover his prime when facing the considerably younger 27-year-old Malignaggi. However, the retired world champion turned analyst has expressed reservations. In a conversation with ProBox TV, he cautioned that the heavyweight icon could be at a significant risk of injury, casting doubt on whether he could compete without facing serious setbacks. Malignaggi reminisced about the magnetic presence that Mike Tyson exuded in the late 80s, describing the frenzy Tyson ignited during those unforgettable years. While he expressed happiness for Tyson's financial success, Malignaggi confessed to a sense of melancholy at the thought of his former undefeated idol facing any adversity. He also cautioned that Jake Paul is proving to be a tougher competitor than most people expect.
But, I'm sure that the odds will shift once all the money comes in on Mike Tyson, because there's a lot of people in love with the Mike Tyson mystique.
The nostalgia.
And that will shift the odds. But, bro, I'm older than you guys. I'm telling you, I was alive and can remember the Mike Tyson mystique of the late 80s. It's sad for me, bro. Not that he's doing this, because I'm happy that anytime the guy can make money and be all right, man. He's one of the first heroes that I can remember. It's Diego Maradona, Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky. Those are the first, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T. Those are the first, heroes that I can remember from my age, born in 1980. So I'm a little older than you. I can literally remember what it's like to wake up the morning of a Tyson fight pre-Buster Douglas and be like, whoa. It's like, dude, it's like, I don't want to see the guy get hurt. That's all, man. I feel like Jake is more dangerous than everybody's giving him credit for.
Few are as well versed in Mike Tyson's tactics as Evander Holyfield. The two rivals faced off in 2 legendary bouts spanning 14 intense rounds, with Holyfield emerging victorious on both occasions. In their first clash, Holyfield stunned Tyson with a decisive knockout. In their rematch, Holyfield's unyielding aggression overwhelmed Tyson, ultimately triggering the infamous ear-biting incident that led to Tyson's disqualification.
And he had all these people pay. Look how much money he got paid. I said, look how much money professional get. Somebody else is dipping in the money. Like that, I said, I think Jake Paul them this. I'm telling you, it's good for boxing for us to go back and look at and say, hey, this thing ain't right. Now these people who not pros, who still taking a chance just like we taking a chance to win, cause they popular and they get all this money.
Holyfield cast doubt on Jake Paul's self-assurance, but conceded that Paul might hold an edge in terms of speed. He speculated that if Paul stayed close to Mike, his odds of winning would improve significantly. But if he tried to keep his distance, he could be at risk of being caught off guard.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but he gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great. But he tried to stay back from Mike. he gonna get caught.
Holyfield painted a vivid picture, likening Mike to a serpent poised to strike with explosive speed. He noted that Tyson's most dangerous moments occur when he's allowed to close the gap, though charging at him can throw off his timing. Holyfield highlighted Tyson's use of powerful footwork to close in, often trapping opponents in uncomfortable proximity. However, he cautioned that any retreat gives Tyson the space to unleash his knockout potential, and once that happens, disaster is all but certain.
Mike is like a snake. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick. But if you charge him, you're gonna smother everything, because everything he push off his legs. He push off his legs so he too close. Like this, but if you give him room, I mean, everybody get knocked out going backwards. Like this, and you get him in the room, you're gonna be messed up.
Holyfield expressed skepticism about Jake Paul's resilience under a heavy strike, noting that he had never witnessed Paul face an opponent with real knockout power. He suggested the fight could end quickly, as Paul likely hasn't encountered someone with the intensity of a Mike Tyson punch. Recalling Tyson's career, Holyfield also remembered a time when Tyson, visibly drained, sat down in the ring and walked away, signaling the abrupt end of the match.
But the point of the matter is this. Do Jake Paul take a good shot? I never seen him get hit by nobody.
Or a guy that the power of Mike even up, because power's the last thing to go.
Yeah, I'm so that's it. But you never know. Yeah, just like Mike quit in the ring, he got tired and just quit and just sit down.
Oh man,
I'm
yeah.
done.
Up-and-coming boxing talent Willie Hutchinson is overflowing with self-assurance. He credits this confidence to his conviction that Paul's abilities are limited, a flaw he believes will provide him with a decisive edge in their upcoming battle. He said, "Wow, that is still happening. It's terrible, isn't it? The man is 60 years old. I still think he can beat and knock out Jake Paul even at the age of 60. He isn't worth anything. I think it's a shame though, really. It is letting boxing down, and it is making it a bit of a mockery." Kevin McBride's decisive win over Mike Tyson in 2005 effectively ended Tyson's iconic career, exposing the growing toll of his physical decline. Nearly 20 years later, Tyson remains in a battle with various health issues, relentlessly striving to restore his former power. To demonstrate his readiness for a comeback, Tyson has begun sharing training footage, his first since his delayed return to the ring. Paul is at the top of his physical game, but he still has bursts of vitality, so it will be hard to beat him. Hutchinson added, "I mean, what good is that doing or gaining for boxing? But everyone will buy in and watch it. It's Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. They are big names. It's a shame. I don't care how much money you are getting. I wouldn't jeopardize what I've done if I was Mike Tyson just to say I am fighting Jake Paul." In a different corner of the boxing world, Kevin McBride, the last man to share a ring with Mike Tyson, has issued a direct warning to Jake Paul. With the YouTube star turned boxer gearing up for his upcoming November clash with the former heavyweight champion, McBride's insight offers a stark reminder of the daunting challenge Paul is about to face. Despite Tyson's advancing years hinting at a possible decline, McBride, now 51, is unwavering in his belief that the boxing legend still holds remarkable strength. Having triumphed over Tyson by technical knockout in their 2005 bout, the last of Tyson's storied career, McBride recalls the fight with vivid detail. He reflects on the raw power Tyson demonstrated, even as the iconic boxer was approaching the twilight of his legendary reign in the ring. "When Tyson hit me, it felt like my head was spinning," McBride recounted in an interview with Instant Casino, describing the intensity of Tyson's punches. He described how he was able to place Tyson in a headlock and further enrage him after suffering a devastating blow, which just made Tyson even angrier. McBride reflects on Tyson's response, recalling how the legendary fighter bit him, unleashing searing pain. This defining incident, captured in the fight's footage, underscores the brutal, unrelenting power Tyson continued to wield in the ring long after his peak. With this in mind, McBride offered his advice to the 27-year-old Paul, emphasizing the importance of robust defense and the need to remain vigilant against Tyson's unpredictable behavior. He warned Paul to remain particularly vigilant if Tyson tossed aside his mouthpiece, a move McBride recognized from personal experience as a precursor to a swift and dangerous attack. Tyson is a fearsome man, even in his 50s. It takes real courage to step into the ring with him, whether you're a seasoned fighter or a YouTuber like Paul, McBride advised. Some have speculated that Paul's youth could give him an advantage due to Tyson's age, implying the difference in years might favor the younger fighter. Yet, McBride firmly disagrees, emphasizing that Tyson's power remains as dangerous as ever and could ultimately turn the tide in the fight. According to McBride, power is the last attribute a boxer loses, and even after all these years, Tyson's blow still has a lot of force. If Tyson connects with just one solid hit, it could be lights out for Paul, McBride suggested, indicating that the younger fighter could find himself in serious trouble if he underestimates Tyson's capabilities. McBride also hinted that if the opportunity presented itself, he could think about returning to the ring for another fight against Tyson. If Tyson wins wins and Paul wants a rematch, I'd be ready to step in again, McBride said. Even better, he offered to step in if Tyson or Paul decided not to fight. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.